Good afternoon, family. Gosh, this morning it rained, it howled, it carried on, threw stuff across the lawn. Then it went away and the sun is out. But we're supposed to get more wicked weather later. Since I couldn't get outside to do much, I decided to stay inside and write. You see, I'm a storyteller, a twisted hare. None of the stories have been written by me, per se. They've been rewritten by me. You see, a twisted hare, or storyteller, would go from camp to camp, especially during the cold weather, where they would be taken care of. And at nighttime, young people, old people, all the people loved to listen to the storytellers. They would bring news from relatives from other camps. They would share stories that had been told to them. So for many years, you see, I've collected a great many stories. And I have a young friend, her name is Savannah. She lives way up north. And one day she wanted to know when I was going to make another CD. You see, I guess she's about worn out, the first one. So that's what I'm working on today. I was getting a second draft done for the next CD. A lot of work goes into these. Another story, another time. But Miss Savannah, this story is for you. And for all the other young people out there who sometimes wonder what the right decision is to be made. This story is called Two Wolves. A long time ago, when families had to hunt for food, they didn't let anything go to waste. If they took down a deer, they cleaned the hide, they tanned the hide for clothing and other things. Bones were used for tools. And so a lot of settlers learned this way from their folks as well. Young man had been working with his dad all winter long. He'd go check the traps, he'd bring in the kill for the day. They would tan the hide, clean up the bones, sometimes eat the meat. Nothing went to waste. He worked really hard all winter with his dad, and his dad promised him that in the spring he could go into the store and he could buy something that he really, really wanted. Now the young boy liked this idea. So as the winter went on and spring got closer, soon it was time to go into town to the big store. So they loaded up their pelts on the back of their mules and other things that they wanted to trade. And they went into the store, and the dad looked around, and the boy kept looking in this one showcase, and he saw the shiny, shiny knife. Really a nice knife. And he really liked that knife, but he didn't want to seem greedy. Well, his dad saw what he was looking at. And he said, "Son, is that your choice? Is this what you want for your prize for working so hard this winter?" He said, "Yeah, Pa, but gosh, that's an awful lot." His father said, "Yes, son, but you worked really, really hard, so it's yours." Now the boy grinned from ear to ear as the teller behind the counter handed the boy the knife. His father said, "I've got some more shopping and bartering to do, son. Why don't you go on outside?" So the boy took his shiny knife, and he was so proud of that knife. He walked around looking at the knife, watching it in the sunlight. really proud. This was his, and he'd have it forever. Only about that time came 3 bigger boys. They were the bullies of the town. If you were small, you didn't have a chance with these bullies. And the parents didn't care. The oldest bully walked up to that young boy and he said, "Hey, you, what you got there?" He said, "I got me a knife. My pa said I could have it because I worked so hard this summer. Excuse me, this winter." The boy reached down, he grabbed the knife as he pushed the boy down on the ground. And another boy kicked at him, made him run away. And these 3 boys, the bullies, just laughed. Ran off and laughed. The young boy was sad. He was mad, he was sad, he didn't know what to do. And he ran and he ran and he ran out of town. And he ran up the pathway and he ran up the mountain to his grandpa's house. Now his grandpa was sitting outside, whittling. And the boy threw himself into his grandpa's arms. His grandpa said, "Well, my son, what's wrong with you?" And the boy was so hurt that he could hardly talk. And he said, "Oh, Grandpa, I worked all winter with Pa. He told me I could have anything I wanted, and we went to town, and I found a knife, and Pa said I could have it, and I knew I'd have it for the rest of my life. And oh, Grandpa, it was such a beautiful, beautiful knife. But these 3 big boys, they came, and they pushed me down, and they took my knife, and I hate them, I hate them, I hate them." And he couldn't talk anymore, he just cried. His grandpa let him cry. Sat there stroking his head, patting his back. And when the boy was all cried out, he said to Grandpa, why did they do that? Why are they so mean?" Well, Grandpa said, "You know, we each have 2 wolves that live inside our hearts. One is a white wolf, full of good. One is a black wolf, full of bad. Just depends on which one you want to feed." "Well, what do you mean it's just the one I want to feed?" "Well, son, I want you to do this. I want you to forgive those bullies. That knife wasn't meant for you after all, was it? It was theirs. And you'll get a better one day. In fact, here, let me give you my buck knife." And the boy's eyes got big. And he said, "Really?" Grandpa said, "Yeah, really. But Grandpa, which wolf do I pick?" Said, "I already gave you the answer, son. Depends on which one you want to feed. The good one or the bad one." Well, Miss Savannah, that story was for you. Tell it to your friends. Because you see, my dear, you're now the storyteller. I love you all. Thanks for stopping by.